still doing business. All right, baby, let's go. Day 16.
Yep.
Walks Cody into Cody. Let's freaking get it. Just drink 160. I'm probably somewhere around 300 milligrams in, maybe 350, somewhere between 300 and 350 milligrams of caffeine in. But man, I just had that Neutonic. Is that what it's called?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, from Chris Williamson. Dude, I feel like super focused. Got some lion's mane, like a lot of good focus energy in it. So I feel good.
Feeling good.
Feel very focused. Get a lot done, knocking out tasks. There's something about knocking out tasks for me too. I feel so freaking good.
Yeah.
I've been doing Ryan's job and like I feel really good doing a lot of different tasks and stuff and like looking at numbers, spreadsheets, getting stuff and like thinking. Just been getting back in the groove, baby. Back in the groove. Something I talked about this morning with the team. I'm gonna talk to you guys about because I think it's super, super important. Something that I remembered yesterday. So yesterday was playing Ultimate Frisbee. Our team is 7-0 now, which is pretty awesome. We got a team of just freaking killers. But what I found was a lot of times I'd go into the games starting to get some nervousness, especially whenever we were like 4-0. So it's interesting how that nervousness makes me actually play worse. And I noticed that because the expectation was I have to like be this person, I have to be good, I have to like, you know, catch everything, and it's on stuff that's outside of my control, right?
Yep.
And so that's what I talked about this morning was a quote that I kind of told myself and something that I always remind myself is judge your effort, not the result, which is a really weird thing, especially for me in my mind, because obviously the result is the only thing that people see and like what we think is the only thing that matters. But it's the only thing that we can't control. The only thing that we can control is the actual effort that we decide to put in. And so if you judge yourself based on what you're willing to put in or the effort that you're willing to put in, then you can actually hold yourself accountable to that as opposed to, you know, I gave an example. There was this one that was coming in and it came in at an angle. It was a Frisbee. It was going towards the out zone. It was coming in at a really sharp angle. And I had to sprint. I thought there was no way I was going to even touch it. But I was like, you know what? Like, for me, the way that I play is I'm going all in and I'm going to see what I can do no matter what. Like, I don't care if it's the worst throw ever. I'm going to do everything possible that I possibly can to get that Frisbee. That way, you know, if you throw it to me, I'm going to put in all my effort. Yeah. And so I went after that thing. Freaking, my back is actually messed up right now, which is kind of funny. Okay. Yeah, the opposite side of what is normal. But anyway, it was coming in at a really fast angle. I freaking sprint after it. I dive and I actually touched it with my left hand. The thing shot out of my hand and then went flying. And I was pretty upset, I'm not gonna lie. When I missed that and it was a touchdown, I was like, oh, like it touched my hand and I was just so upset. But then when I reflect on it, I'm like, dude, I would say that 99% of people would not even have touched that disc. They wouldn't even went after it. They wouldn't even have thought it was possible. So just by me putting in that maximum effort, I realized, okay, dude, I will give it 100% every single time. I will go back, reflect, figure out what I can do better, and I judge myself, again, based on the effort that I'm putting in. And what I found is there's not a lot of people that are gonna put in as much effort as I will. That's what I found has made me successful in my life, actually, is not necessarily because I'm the highest skilled. I am definitely not the highest skilled person in any area. I was not the best salesperson whenever I was doing car sales. I was not the best fighter. I wasn't the fastest. I wasn't the best anything that I've ever done, but I've always been willing to put in so much consistent action and like stay so disciplined for so much longer than what other people are willing to, that it's always made me successful in anything that I choose to do, because I just have belief that if I just continue to do it, that I'm eventually going to be good at it. So same thing with Frisbee. It's not like I'm like a naturally skilled person at it. I just put in that consistent action all of the time, and I'm willing to always be learning. So anyway, that's something that I talked to the team about this morning. Hopefully it helps you guys judge yourself based on the effort, not based on the result. Yeah, sorry, buddy, went on a tangent there.
All
right, buddy, what you got?
It's just, what's your favorite trip you've been on so far?
Favorite trip? This year?
Or it could be just any trip that you've ever went on.
And so there's a trip that keeps coming to my mind. It's actually, yeah, all right, buddy? It's actually kind of like, it's interesting how it's like one of my favorite memories, and then it also brings a little bit of sadness. to it as well, just because like of who it was with. So one of my favorite trips I ever been on was the first time I ever went to Arizona, because you know I grew up super poor. We did not travel, bro. Like, I mean, we didn't travel at all. If we went to Channel Lakes, that was a freaking, like, that was crazy.
Yep.
So we just didn't travel very much. And I remember the first time I went out to Sedona, Arizona, and I was with Baja, and we were staying in her grandpa's like resort timeshare.
Yeah.
Man, it had a pool, and we were right there, right next to the mountains. It looked like it was out of a magazine, and I've never seen the mountains before. So that was like a magical, magical point for me in my life. And honestly, I felt like that point in my life, I had everything that I ever wanted. Like I had a wife, I was making decent money. I was able to travel. We're in a beautiful place. I was like, dude, my life cannot get any better than this. Like that was the time when I felt like it was just like everything just felt perfect in a way.
Wow.
So yeah, that trip was magical for me. Sedona was so beautiful. We went up to Flagstaff. But yeah, that was the trip that I remember the most of, like the feeling the most happy, because it was, again, the first time. When you see anything for the first time and experience it for the first time, I think it's very difficult to have those same feelings again, at least from my perspective. I don't know what it is, but like anytime I see something new or, you know, experience something new, I'm like, dang, this is so cool.
Yeah.
The interesting thing for me that I am working through now, because I've experienced a lot, dude, I've traveled a lot, I've seen a lot, is now it's kind of becoming like not even that exciting anymore, which is really hard, because I'm like, man, I want to be happy. I want it to be exciting. But now it's like, since I had that experience, that feeling, that now becomes the expectation. And that's like, oh, I want to feel that again. And so now I'm trying to get myself to feel that again. But then if you're trying to force yourself to feel anything, it usually doesn't work out very well. And so I'm just, instead of being in the moment and just like living and experiencing, it's like, oh, how can I recreate that feeling that I felt before? And whenever you're trying to recreate it, it's like it's not possible for you to recreate it.
Yeah, it's a different feeling. It's not the same.
Yes. And it's now what you're measuring everything else against, to me. So like if I have, like I always say it like this, if I had the best steak in the world, it's now like that is now the new measurement of every other steak that I have.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting thing. So yeah, that was one of my favorite trips though, was that one. My friend Matt Bloomfield was out there, he showed us around, and it was a really cool trip. Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah. I got one other thing real quick, buddy. I heard a quote yesterday. It was something I was talking about yesterday, actually. And that was, I can't remember the exact quote, but it was something to the effect of, magic is not in having the things, it's about the pursuit of getting the things. And so if you notice, whenever you have the things, that's not what makes you happy. Having things does not make you happy. And so the way that they kind of illustrated it was, look at the trust fund kids. Look at how unhappy they are because they've always had everything.
Yeah.
And so they actually are almost more miserable, which like nobody really feels bad for them, but honestly it is pretty sad. Like you can have everything and then it doesn't make you feel good because you haven't earned it. Everything was kind of given to you. And so that's what I found in my life, is the more that I have, the less happy I am. But the pursuit of getting the things is kind of fun, but I think that's just where the growth comes in. And so we love to grow. So anyway, I thought that was an interesting perspective of like, it's not the having the stuff that is actually the fun part, it's the working to attain the stuff that is actually the fun part, which everybody says that, like enjoy the journey and stuff as opposed to like the destination, but it's just a different perspective of the stuff does not make you happy. It really, really doesn't. Like I was talking about yesterday, it almost makes you more unhappy because a lot of times you're just now so worried about it getting destroyed, getting messed up or anything like that, that you can't even be happy about it. So, but pursuing after it is like the most fun thing ever. Like I literally enjoy it. And I think that's why I've been in this weird state of like depression, honestly, is because I'm not working towards a whole lot of new stuff. I'm trying to maintain what we got, make it a simpler process and try to get my time back instead of like, we're gonna go do this and do this and do this. And like, that's where I get excited, as opposed to now it's just like, okay, here's what we got, let's better organize it. And I'm like, dang, I wanna grow and do more and bigger and better and all this stuff. So it's been an interesting thing for me that I really do need to reevaluate what I'm doing, what I want, and where I'm going. So that's where I'm at, but yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
That was a lot. Mm-hmm. Did I talk fast?
Yeah. Compared to your normal person, for sure. Compared to me, because if I talk any faster, I'm definitely gonna stumble and slur.
Yeah.
Something I need to work on.
I need to work on speaking a little bit slower. Because when I can speak slower, then you can hear my tonality in the voice. And when you can hear the tonality in the voice, you just connect with people better. You know what I mean?
Maybe. Yeah.
It is interesting because I do need to learn my pauses speaking. Like,
Yeah.
I got to work on it.
Yeah, we're all working on it, buddy.
Amen. Amen. Oh, we got to go freaking, I already ordered Chipotle.